Hi friends, I'm Karoline and you're listening to Calls and Walks, the podcast. Now grab a cup of tea and get comfy or put your shoes on and come outside for a walk. Either way, welcome to this week's episode. Good morning and hello all the lovely people listening. Welcome to this week's Call and Walk, and this is gonna be a brief episode because if you listened to the last week's, if you didn't, and if you have time to spare, please do, because I'm talking everything about enjoying your own company and being alone. And I'm also telling you that it's okay if it doesn't feel that good as it looks online to be alone. But this week's episode, I'm gonna be giving you about, 15-20 solo date ideas. And I hope that the wind is not gonna be too horrible, because I'm recording outside and it's quite chilly. It's raining a bit, but what wouldn't I do for you? Anyways, I'm not gonna prolong this any longer, and whoever didn't listen to the last week's episode, first up, let me just say that it's okay if you do not feel enthusiastic to try out absolutely everything on this list today or tomorrow. And it's absolutely okay if you don't feel too comfortable spending time alone yet, because it's a journey and it's natural for us to be in a company of anything, or whether it's a friend or family or... The wind is kicking my butt today. Whether it's a friend or, a family member, or it's a movie or a song, all these things make it, they are a company, and it's okay if you don't feel absolutely comfortable going out and being absolutely alone and in silence with yourself. So that's what I thought about a lot, and that's why I have a few things in this list that do not really require to be truly alone. I have a movie night there, and things that you can do to distract yourself too from the fact that you're alone. And as a third little thing that I'm gonna say is that being alone doesn't equal being lonely. So I would love to break that idea that, when you see someone outside alone and you automatically think, oh my god, they must be so lonely. They probably aren't, and maybe they are. I mean, we're humans, it's okay to have feelings that maybe you don't know how to explain or name, but I sorted the solo dates ideas into two categories, sort of. And the first one is that it requires no money or very little money to make the date. And the second one is the one that, it requires a bit more expensive thingies, a bit more... I just lost my script. a bit more money to, make it work, because I have a weekend getaway there and all these things. But let's first get into... Oh my god, my script is gonna be soaking wet at the point. If you want to see pics and some behind the scenes, check my Instagram. You'll find that down below in the description. But oh my god, this is a blast outside today. So to the first category, I have written down about 5 of them, but I have 10 more in my mind. Okay, so the first one that I already mentioned is a movie night, and this is the one that really doesn't require any money. You don't have to make extra fancy snacks and buy a lot of things and buy a heated blanket or anything. You could just pick your favorite movie, or a movie that you haven't watched in a while, or maybe a movie that you wanted to watch and didn't, And, you can obviously buy some snacks, but I also think that, who doesn't have snacks at home already? If you walk to a cupboard and if the dog doesn't stop barking, Thank you. But I don't know. Okay. But I don't know anyone who doesn't have snacks at home. Like, at least like a fancy little drink, some good soda or something. Or just make a soda at home, just like, I don't know, you don't have to make everything super fancy, but you can make it like look a little fancy. You can buy some just a sparkling water. That's what I do. I buy the big bottle of sparkling water, and I put some good syrup in the glass, and I cut up some fruit, and I make it look like a little cocktail, and it's honestly so much fun. And my script is so good. I was good, right? But put on a movie, and you can buy a popcorn. I think they're like €2 a pack. I think so. Maybe cheaper if you find some like cheaper ones. But to be honest, I have really no idea because I haven't bought popcorn in a while. But that's a movie night. You don't even have to have a fancy side. Like, I know you shouldn't talk about this, but who never used any like illegal site to watch a movie or a series? You can also watch a series, okay? You don't have to listen to this list like, as a step to step. Anyways, as a step to step, a list. You can just make the things your own, and that's what this whole thing is about. Make the things your own. Make yourself enjoy it, and do things you would enjoy. You do not feel obligated to just write down all of these or go on Pinterest, because that's where I have my ideas too from. But don't feel obligated to go on a Pinterest and write down the 100 solo dates ideas and check them off, even if you don't like the idea of doing it. Just make this journey, and any journey, but I'm going to talk about that in another episode. But just like a quick intro, don't feel obligated to do anything at all just because it's trendy, or just because you think you should like it, or don't do things just to do them, because that's how you make things unenjoyable. Obviously there are exceptions, like I can't just tell my professor that, oh, you know what, I thought this essay would be quite unenjoyable for me to write, so I didn't. No, you can't actually do that. But just think about it like something to for you to do, to have fun. And that's the whole thing about, just have fun. Find some small things that make you happy, and some small moments that make you laugh and all that. So a movie night. I'm putting together a list of my favorite movies, and I'm gonna publish it nearing end of this week, I think, because my Easter holidays are starting, so I'm gonna make the most out of it. I'm recording 2 more episodes today, so that's gonna be a blast. But check my Instagram near the end of the week, because I'm gonna publish a list of my 10 favorite movies. If you're interested for any ideas. But that's a movie night. You can also go on a fancy with it. You can buy some good soda. You can buy some, extra snacks. What I like to do is I like to buy a chocolate bar. And I really like to buy some strawberries. But that's the worst thing about winter. There are no strawberries. And I love strawberries and chocolate. My boyfriend hates me for that. He's like, I have no idea how you like that. And he had the same idea about oranges and chocolate, and he's like, that's the worst combination ever. And I'm like, no, it's not, it's delicious. He doesn't believe me. We should sue him. Next on the list is a spa day or a spa night, which also is something that's relatively cheap. You can buy some face mask. I think they're like €2 to €4 maybe, but it's relatively cheap. But of course you can just go with a fancy, making your skincare routine a bit more fancy. You can play some music or play a TV show. You don't have to always buy things. That's the worst thing that I think is around. You solo date ideas, and they require you to buy some fancy masks, and like, in this economy, like, are you kidding me? Like, no. And you see everyone having these fancy routines. I mean, not that it's something bad, but realistically, if you get let down by this and good, like, yeah, but I can't afford this, which means I can't do it, it's pointless, it's stupid. That's not how it works. But so that's that. Don't get disappointed by just, oh, I can't buy 100 of these, and I can't buy 2 fancy masks for the evening. You don't have to. You can just, I don't know, I think everyone has a face mask at home, maybe. I think I do, somewhere in the fridge. I keep them in the fridge because I like them cold. So nonetheless, there's a spa day or spa night, and it can also be just like a fancy skincare routine, or just play some music, or have a bath. Have a bath and use your favorite shower gel, and have a hair mask and all this. I think my favorite solo date idea is the walk and coffee one. Yeah, because I really, really like going out for a walk. And I think walks are my favorite kind of exercise. And also runs, because I love running. I fell in love with running. Which can also be a solo date idea. Just, I don't know, this is what I did. I looked for the nearest, good place to run, because I'm still kind of scared to run, like, somewhere where, like, stones and rocks on the road are, and this is kind of creep me out, because I'm still scared with my ankles, because my ankles are hypermobile. So it's kind of, and I used to sprain them a lot, but that's another story, not this episode. So the walking coffee is my favorite, ultimate favorite. And also, you don't have to buy a coffee. You can buy, I don't know, a slice of cake, or like a good pastry. I love cake. A slice of pastry or an ice cream, anything you want, or I don't know, end it with buying a book. Anything. I really like this idea, because at the end it doesn't require any money at all. If you don't want to buy anything, you can just get out for a bit, and you can also listen to music while you walk. So you don't have to pay attention to the fact that you're walking alone and you look a bit lonely. But I think it's also nice to take the headphones off sometimes and just walk around and listen to the nature. I also spy on other people's conversations, so that's that. But yeah, walking coffee, maybe maybe pair this with just walking somewhere and finding some good hidden spots to have a coffee or a tea. I walk to school every day, and since my first walk ever, that I walked to school, I found like a cozy little tea shop, and I still have yet to go inside. But I was like, oh my god, that's amazing. And I looked inside, and it was like, oh my god, that's so cozy. And I found another, which is like a little coffee shop that's like hidden between the buildings, and it was so nice. Like, I didn't buy anything yet, but it was just so nice to know that the place is there. So go out for a walk. Jesus. So go out for a walk, and yeah, end it with maybe buying yourself some cup of coffee. Anyways, maybe end it with buying yourself a cup of coffee, or a tea, or a slice of cake, or a good pastry, or maybe end it with buying yourself lunch. Or what I do is that I just buy myself chips from McDonald's, because I like that. I have this idea that I just require a reward every time I do something. I bought a book for my driving school, and I literally went and bought McDonald's chips afterwards. And I don't know, it's like things like these that really just make you smile a bit. And yeah, the next one is buy yourself some flowers, which is what I do every month. I skipped March though because I kind of forgot. But buy yourself flowers or some cake, or coffee, and you don't have to walk anywhere this time. But just, or maybe have a takeout delivered. Even though that's like kind of more on the expensive side. Like, have you all seen the prices of anything lately? I was talking about it with my mom, and it's not like, I miss the times when McDonald's was like, oh, this is a cheap food. Now it's like a restaurant prices, and I'm like, mate, like, I don't want to pay that much for like a food that, let's face it, isn't really that good. Like, it has nutrition, it has like nothing, and it's so expensive lately. Like, it's not like we're going to the McDonald's, so yeah, we're gonna have a cheaper lunch. Like, no. I don't know, it's so like, wow. So then the next date idea is just, buy yourself flowers or buy yourself ice cream. I have a few ice cream shops that I recently found when I was walking around the city, and it's just so nice. The next thing on my list is buy a train ticket to a very near city, or maybe a city that is in your country, and find some nice spots. And that is also one of my favorites, because I love trains. I'm a huge fan of public transport, actually, and trains are my ultimate favorite. Trains are just so nice to me, and you can see the nature all around, and it's just really pleasant for me. And I take a train twice a day from school and to school. Well, opposite, to school and from school. And I just really like those. And last time, that was because I went to see my boyfriend, but I bought a ticket to Prague and I went by myself, and just the whole trip was really nice because I read a book and I listened to some music, and of course I met my boyfriend, but the train ride alone was really nice. And yeah, it's on the cheaper side because I think train tickets to Prague cost me like €4, a little less than €4, and a train ticket to the city where I go to school costs me like, well, I have a prepaid ticket, but it costs like €1.50. But of course I don't know how it's like abroad from here. I don't know how it's like abroad from here, but yeah, the trains are really nice. And I also went by myself to Dresden a few months ago, and yeah, the tickets are a bit more costly. I think I stayed there for a weekend. I think the whole weekend cost me like €20 on the tickets only. Which, yeah, but it's still not as, expensive as buying a flight ticket or anything. So, and the city, I love Dresden so much. The city is so nice. And oh hey, it kind of cleared up the sky, and the grass looks really nice today. Anyways, yeah, so just buy a train ticket and go out, maybe go out a bit of your comfort zone, because that's ultimately what all of these things kind of are, especially if you're not used to being alone. Then going anywhere alone is just kind of out of your comfort zone a bit. And another one on my list, and that's the last one that I have written down from the no money or little money category, is a trip to the library that doesn't require any money at all. Especially if you have a registration there already. I think some Prague libraries, Prague has so many gorgeous libraries, and I want to go there one day because oh my god, the Clementine one and all that they're so gorgeous. But go to the library and pick out a book and just sit there and read. A library in the city that I study in has a coffee shop too, so I have yet to go inside, but it looks so cozy and comfy, and it just sounds so nice. But I still balance on the uncomfortableness, however that word is said, of going to a restaurant or coffee shop alone. So that's for the future. And now we move on to the second category. But before that, some of the other ideas that don't really require you to go anywhere at all is my favorite date idea is make a vision board. I do that every year before New Year's, and I make a vision board, and you make yourself a drink. But yeah, wow, universe, what is this? Yeah, so make a vision board, or I don't know, have a painting date. I have a lot of paints at home, oh my god. Or draw something, or just read a book, spend an hour reading, or whatever time you want. Or go outside to a park and just sit and feed the ducks, But don't give them bread. They shouldn't eat bread. Give them frozen peas. I wonder if anyone got the reference, and if you did, take the time and comment, because I would love to meet more people who are mentally traumatized. I cannot wait for season 3 to come out. Anyways, ducks shouldn't eat bread. They should eat frozen peas. So take some frozen peas and go feed some ducks. Anyway, to the second category, there are the more expensive things, and there's the first one is go out for a lunch at your favorite place or McDonald's, and just treat yourself and have a lunch. Which I also understand that it's a bit more out of your comfort zone if you're not used to being alone. Eating alone when you're surrounded by people who dine in pairs or in friend groups can be really, can feel really weird and uncomfortable. So, and that's okay. We all learn, and we all just try to be here and have a blast of a time. The second date idea for me is go to a spa. Here in my city we have a thermal spa. I have not been there yet. I'm not sure if I want to go, because I don't know, something of the warmth, I think I wouldn't handle that. But go for a spa, or get your nails done, or go to a hairdresser. All this. Just treat yourself and give yourself some good self-care. This is like basically a second level of the spa day or spa night. The first level is just like do it at home, have some of your masks and all that. And the second is just like go to a spa and let people take care of you. Or go swimming. I love swimming, and the tickets are, to go swimming are not really even that expensive. I think they're like €5 for like 3 hours here. Yeah, it's an investment, and it's obviously not like to go every weekend, but maybe just once a month go swimming, or anything you might enjoy. The other date, the third one on my list, is book a yoga or workout or dance class. I've been wanting to book a pole dance class since like New Year's, and I still am saving up for it, because I want a specific one, and yeah, and I'm still saving up for my driver's license, so the pole dance class is not really high on my priority list. But I want to try it until the end of the year. Like, I want to try it so bad. So book a yoga class and book a dance class, workout class, and any class or even a hobby. Like, find some workshops or book a cooking class. My mom wanted to book a cooking class in Prague, and yeah, it just sounds like a really nice spent afternoon. And of course, it's a bit of your comfort zone too, like being somewhere completely alone when you don't know the people and you do something like working out or cooking or something that you haven't ever tried. It can be really intimidating, I can see that, yeah. Which I think is why I'm also waiting a bit with the pole dance class, because I'm just like really still battling the awkwardness that I think is gonna come, because yeah, my flexibility is like 0 and I have never tried pole dance, so yeah. The next one on the list is go to a cinema or buy a ticket to the theater or opera or anything. And I don't know, that's just like, I love going to the cinema. I have been there alone for a couple of movies already, because I go to see the movies with English, not Czech dubbed, just with the Czech subtitles. And people like from my family don't really like that. They don't really like the English spoken, but I cannot watch Czech spoken Marvel movies. I don't know, I just can't. But so I go out for some movies alone, and it's honestly a good time, because you don't have to focus on the fact that you're alone. You just watch a movie, and you eat your popcorn. I love cheese popcorn, by the way. And you get your fancy soda and all that. Or book a ticket to see like a small artist, a singer or anything. Or go to the theater. They sometimes have very cheap tickets. I've found like I don't know what the place name is in English, but it's from Carlo Goldoni, and yeah, it's, I don't know, but they had tickets for like €4, and I was like, oh my god, that's amazing. Like, that's basically nothing, okay? I mean, it's not nothing, but it's not like you have to buy tickets for €20. Also, a little tip: these local small cinemas, theaters, they're always cheaper than going to like, I don't know, the National Theater or something. The second, and that's really blast to me, I did that once or twice with my sisters too, is setting a budget and buying things for a picnic, and you just set a budget of however much money you want, which is also why this is like really flexible, and all of these are flexible. You don't have to buy a certain things or pay a certain amount for it to count, but I'm sorry, I think I'm sick, so anyways, set a budget, like, I don't know, €10, €20, whatever you think is nice, and buy some sweets, buy anything you want, make sandwiches, and just go out. Especially now, they're starting to be so pretty outside, like, it's amazing. And just go outside and have a picnic, grab a blanket and a picnic basket and some cutlery, just have a nice day with yourself, or just take someone else, and all these dates can also be done with someone else, if you don't really feel like being alone, but still, they're really nice done alone. And the last but not least is find a cheap flight and book a trip. And this is the most expensive one on the list, because obviously the flight tickets are not like €2. But still, maybe you can find some last minute trips, or just like a really cheap, like a cheap ticket to... My script is falling. Anyways. But maybe you can find a cheap flight ticket and just book a trip. Maybe you can find some good prices. But maybe book a plane and you can sleep over at, your friend's place, anywhere you want to go. And that's the last tip. And also there are tips like go to a museum, or go out to a coffee shop, or go to watch a football game, or go to a concert. All these kind of things, basically everything you come up with. Even making a vision board, or writing a love letter to yourself, or writing a time capsule letter, that's all a solo date if you do it solo. There are no limits to what is considered a date, especially if it's done with yourself only. A solo date can also be just taking an hour out of your busy week and just reading, or having some good workout, or going for a walk or a run, or going to the gym, for a tryout, or find a gym that has like free entries for some day. I think a gym here does it, like nearing the end of the school year, and they just like make these open door days, and you have the entry like completely free. So that can also be like really nice if you're into that, or basically anything you can come up with. Also check Pinterest for some more ideas. There's so many ideas for solo dates and dates in general. A solo date can also be writing all these down, and maybe making a date jar. You grab a really nice jar and you color sort the ideas based on how expensive they are, or maybe what season can they be done in. Or nearing Christmas, a great solo date for me is going to the advent markets. They always have like sheep and goats there, so I just spend my whole time there. And I buy some hot chocolate, and it's just like really, really nice spend time. And I always feel more relaxed when I come home. And I think an importance of this is so big, especially in this busy lifestyle. Like, I spend 8 hours a day and more at school, or on the way to school, and on the way back from school I wake up at 5:30, and I usually come back after like 12 hours. So just taking some time alone is really nice, and it really gets you just nice and relaxed. And yeah, the importance of these dates is also when you're with someone and you go from school to home and immediately talking to someone, and you're stressed and annoyed, and you have not spent any time with yourself, and you just keep entertaining people. It's not good. It's really not good. It doesn't benefit anyone at all, unless of course you are that person that just is excited to come home to your favorite person or a family member, and you're like, yeah, I don't need the solo time, I just need them to be with me. But I think all of us need a bit of solo time. And for me, a solo date is this too, like being outside alone talking to you, and just being there and not having to talk physically to anyone. But yeah, a solo date can be anything that is done alone, and it always doesn't have to be something so sophisticated. Like for me, a solo date is just watching 2 episodes of Friends and eating dinner during that, But I wanted this episode to be like 20 minutes long, and it's already on 30, which is amazing. But Yeah, anyways, I hope you enjoyed these ideas and I hope you're gonna try some of them. If you will, tag me. You can find me on Instagram, but find all of that out in the description and in the outro. So, as always, before you hang up, listen to the outro, and I will see you very soon. Enjoy all these days if you try them, and bye for now. And this was today's call. I hope you had a jolly good time, because I did. And before you hang up, check the description box for all the links to my media. And if you liked today's chat, consider joining me for next week's Call on a Walk. Bye, friends.